Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you into the video. Hey, no, go figure. The ATM for the GR is in the Target. I walked all the way down, like 7 blocks down for no reason. All I had to do was walk to Target. That's where the other ATM is. So, of course, I bought myself some fruit and all the stuff, some rice. You know, I got what I needed here. Went back to Mahatma rice, my favorite rice. I've been dabbling in other rice pretty much the whole time I've been here, but it was time to get back to Mahatma for a little bit, so that'll last about the rest of the week, I guess. But what was I gonna say? I don't know, man. I feel all right, man. I made so many videos over the last couple of hours, probably about 4 of them, in regards to therapy sessions, talking about the dream I had and all of that, and just how important it was to me, and talk to you guys about how I'd set the wrong precedent, I believe, in my friend's life that kind of started us up, kind of put me in a position to maybe not be as respected as I'd like to be respected by the woman that I'm pointed at. And so just certain things in my head that kind of scrambled back to just letting God be first, man. A lot of the decisions I made was to do certain things a certain way were done before I had the faith that I now have in God. Yeah, my faith was in place, but not like I know how to apply it right now. And so that's what I'm here to say. And I just apply my faith differently, and because of it, I'm learning lessons that I probably would have never learned. Give me a second. This is bothering me. You know, when you're wearing Vans, you got long pants, and ultimately you end up having your pants roll up under your heel. Yeah, that's what I was going on right there. But either way, you know, it's one of them situations where now I'm just ready to move forward. I don't feel compelled to really say anything right now to her. Part of me wants to send her the video that had to do with the dream, but a part of me thinks it's probably best to not, and just let that be the beginning of me actually trying to let her go and stay out of her way, rather than be compelled to say certain things. It's still not working out. Being compelled to say certain things that would ultimately put me in a position to further possibly bring unwanted energy her way. So that's really what it's about, not wanting to bring unwanted energy toward her that she'll have to either reject or absorb, to much of her chagrin, it seems. And by way of the dream that I had, if you take these type of things as seriously as I do, then you know that you got to stay away and let the Lord come to you in regards to whatever way he wants to bring you the type of energy that you're looking for. This is really not working out with this pants leg right now. But yeah, man, that's what it is. Just trying to discipline myself away from giving her communication that she otherwise doesn't probably even want. Something that probably only makes it further confusing. Me showing her that dream, I didn't probably need to, you know, if she checks out my channel, she'll know what it is, I guess. Maybe not, but I don't know. I'll give that to God to see if he wants me to convey that, or maybe that was just for you guys, whoever would watch it. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm just looking forward to not hurting anymore over this person's absence and what it is that she chooses to do to protect her peace, and maybe who she wants to be with in her life if it isn't me. I don't want to be hurt over that. You know what I mean? It gets to a point where you got to let God handle that, and thus letting it go. But, you know, it's one of those situations where that process don't come overnight, and I would rather it do that. I would rather it do that for the betterment of my circumstances in mental health. But, you know, like I said in the last video, it could always be worse. So a lot of things that could have been significantly worse in this situation. So I'm thankful it didn't get that bad. We didn't go that far into it. You know, if it's supposed to stop here, we ain't lose too much. Nobody crossed any ridiculous lines that the friendship couldn't handle, or nothing like that. We can reconvene when we both heal and we both have new people or something like that, and be the greatest friends possible. Maybe even have stories to tell one another about the way we've been. So that's up to her, really. I'm open to continuing communication, but if she ain't gonna bring it back, that has to be the mentality, rather than me continuing to reach out. Now that these dreams have come my way and told me basically to stop. So when God sends you dreams, you can either choose to listen to them or not. But with my faith being as it is, I think it's in my best interest to give that to God and let him let that be the thing. So yeah, that's where my head's at. Learn how to be alone for real. I'm alone anyway, but as it pertains to having somebody that I have my heart pointed at and always talking about, it just don't feel like that's where this is headed. Really, I want it to be a certain way, but I also want to be a certain way, and I'm not that way. I'm not the way I want to be. So it is what it is, man. God be the glory. I trust him differently, and so that's what it is, man. I don't know what else the wisdom would be. I don't know if there's anything else that's on my mind to share, to be honest with you. I haven't said it all. And I encourage everybody to go check out them videos so you know where, if you care about how this is going in my head, if you care about that dream, it's there. I think it was the therapy session 791, maybe that one, the longer one of the two. That's the one that it is, I believe. And so, yeah, man. 790 maybe? I don't know. Whichever the longer one is of the two. But, you know, liberation. Freedom from binding someone else. Freedom from having soul ties with somebody that don't want them with you. Freedom from bothering somebody, if that's what it is that I'm doing. Freedom from my own mental health being shaped up to ruin somebody else's circumstance with how it wants to communicate and how it wants to put pressure on her to communicate. It's not in, she ain't got to explain herself to somebody who's not in her day-to-day, man. At the end of the day, I would love explanations for the betterment of my mind, but that's charity work for her. Either she could choose to get that to me or not. I ain't give her no ring. I ain't harboring her space. I ain't paid none of her bills. You feel me? So at some point in time, a man just got to be real and say, you ain't contributing. There's nothing going on around there. And while I have the heart to do so, this is not happening. For a set of good reasons. It's not that I wouldn't do those things. It's just that that's not where we're at. And so if that's not where we're at, then I ain't got no say-so for what she does. And since she ain't trying to control me, I got to show back that same love. And so that's where she's more mature than myself, man. If I'm being real, she's much more mature than me in that. She know how to get stuff out of her life that don't need to be there. She know how not to obsess over people who ain't in her world like that. She know how to keep her positivity and whatever else she's figured out that I can only speculate about. She's doing it without the presence of my attention being a bind on her spirit. And so I want that same strength. I want that same strength in my life. And so that's what I'm praying for. I'm hoping that the God that I serve can take the example that she's showing me and give it to me. You know, I understand that it's not easy to find somebody out here. I understand there's a lot of diseases that you can catch being promiscuous. I understand that a lot of people would cheat on you, and in this big city, you're likely to find that person more than you're not. I understand all that. And so that kind of hesitates me on doing certain things that I think are normal in my life. I'd rather just have the person I have, happy with her, and just working on it the way that it's supposed to be worked on, however that goes. But she's in the world that I'm in too, and maybe she's like that. she wants all the normal stuff, and she's in an age where she shouldn't be looking to necessarily settle down, especially with somebody who's not able to settle down properly. And so that part hurts a lot because I've been through that in my other relationship where the woman I was with may have loved me but just didn't see me as a responsible man or a breadwinner or anybody she could nest with. Didn't have the bread in the society we're in, and every society has ever been known. A man got to be working to be able to bring home some bacon. And because of how I'm so shaped up, it's just not happening. And so even if a woman loved me, attracted to me, connects with me, at the end of the day, she got to say, well, is he going to bring home the bread? And if the answer is no, then she has to, in her head, make a decision that's wise for her life. And I don't know if we ain't had that conversation in this particular friendship, but I don't think it's necessary. She's the same age that girl was back then, or a little older. So she's looking to establish herself as somebody who can have those things, and also trying to deal with the specifics of her life, which haven't been easy over the last 6 months. I'd imagine trying to think of me as somebody to nest with when I'm over here depending on her energy without providing certain things. It just doesn't seem like a wise decision if you really give it some thought. But I do have some things established in my life at 39 that I didn't have when I was 25 with my other situation in the past. And so, given the fact that I do have a lot of works in place, I think KT can see more of a potential in me than maybe my ex did. There's more to look at here in regards to this person is talented, this person is consistency, this person is taking care of himself physically. My ex didn't have much of that to look at in regards to myself. There wasn't a whole lot of that there back then. So I think this version of me is a much better version of me than I was back then, but it better be given the fact that it's 15 years later. So that's just what it is, man. I trust God, man. I'm not very pleased with my life right now, but I'm also very thankful that things have gotten better over the last month than they were. They were my mindset, my positivity, my strength, my faith, even what we're talking about in regards to the works, I still kept them up. So it ain't like things have gotten worse. I'm taking more pride in my appearance, I think. I'm taking more pride in what it is I'm doing. So I'm still growing, but who's to say it's where it needs to be to keep this person's, attention or whatever, I don't know. So that's just what it is, man. I only wanted one person in my life. I ain't the player type. I'm not, man. I ain't got this, barely got the sentiment to deal with one woman. I don't want to deal with a million of them, like a lot of dudes pride themselves on trying to be, and then they end up in situations ain't no good for them. I mean, this situation probably ain't no good for me, but not in the same vein, It ain't the same thing. So I just like dealing with one person. Now that one person be faithful to me faithful to them, and leave it at that, man. But everybody wants their own thing. I don't know what. Maybe Kay wants the same thing and is found it in someone else. Maybe that's what it is. That's what the dream told me. So God bless her if that's what it is. I'm just looking forward to not being hurt by that, if that's what her future and her present lies. Man, I'm going back in the house. Take all this stuff back in. Of course, pay these people their money. Probably gonna drop this stuff off first. Maybe not. So I gotta double back to the lobby. I just pay them now. Take this into the fridge and let it be. I didn't plan on buying nothing from Target, but since I'm there, might as well get some of the things that ultimately were running out, like apples and these grapes, which I've learned to love, man. Remember I told you I was looking for grapes with seeds in them? Some of them have seeds, but I really feel a difference in my strength since I've incorporated these grapes into my diet. And given the fact that I've gotten rid of the potato salad, which served me not at all, and as well as that other creamy chicken salad thingy that had so much milk in it, it made me sick a good portion of the time. Gotten all those things out of my diet, and I'm just getting used to rice. The grapes and the bread help a lot with the taste of the food, given the fact that there's nothing doctoring it up, including no seasoning, for which a lot of seasoning gives me the same problem. So I'm highly allergic to a lot of different stuff, man, and that's just part of the problem in my life. It's one of many problems that I have, man. So that's a thing in my life, man. I can't hardly eat nothing, but at the same time, it keeps me in a space where my diet can be disciplined, because if you can't eat a lot of stuff, you're definitely not going to eat a lot of stuff that ain't no good for you. Works for me. Discipline my diet. Thank you, God. That's what I gotta say. But yeah, man. Looking forward to feeling good, man. I welcome happiness and joy, peace into my life, proper ways of viewing things, self-respect, self-control, self-awareness, all those different things. I welcome all that into my life, man. I don't want none of these problems that I've been having with this particular circumstance. Got a good friend there. I just hope she can get to a space where she's where she wants to be mentally, so that she can communicate a bit better, and or not, if that's what it's going to be, but at least in a good space where she's not hurting, because I know that she has been. And so that's what I have to say. My name is BDF 44. Thank y'all for watching.